used to get these stuffed bell peppers from Costco until I read the label and saw they have sugar. Realized I can make them better, healthier, and cheaper at home. So let's get started. First, let's make the rice. To take the flavor of your rice to the next level, don't stick to just rice and water. Let's make this sauce to flavor the rice. In a small blender, add 1 Roma tomato, clean, deseeded, and roughly cut. A 1/4 white onion, roughly cut. 2 garlic cloves peeled. I'm adding a clean, deseeded jalapeno and serrano peppers. It adds more to the flavor. It's not that spicy, but you don't have to do that step. Tomato bouillon, fresh ground pepper, and flaky salt. You can add water, but I prefer to use broth, veggie broth, bone broth, or whatever type of broth. It makes the flavor much better. Cover and blend. Because I'm using the whole quart of broth, it doesn't matter how much I add here, it's just to blend. Taste and adjust because this is how the rice will taste. If you want to skip that step, just simply use this no rice seasoning with broth and that's it. Now we're ready to make the rice. Preheat your pot or pan. Add some butter. I'm gonna do 2 cups of rice so that I can use the whole quart of broth. It makes it so much easier for me so I don't have to measure so much. I'm using parboiled rice. The interesting thing about rice is that it's recommended to use brown rice for stuffed peppers. However, parboiled rice cooks in half the time as brown rice and it's just as healthy and fluffy. Add some onions and continue to mix. Add minced garlic. When the rice is nice and golden, then add the sauce. Don't add too much at first. Mix it well. The rest of it can go in after. Now you can add the rest of the broth and the rest of the sauce if you had any left over. Mix it. After this step, we won't be mixing anymore. Bring it to a light boil, cover and simmer for about 25 minutes. Once the liquid is done, your rice is done. I like adding a little bit of lime on top. It keeps it from sticking. Now I'm fluffing it to make sure there's no liquid and so it cools down while we do the ground beef. Heat your pan to medium heat. I don't use Teflon, so I'm adding a little bit of oil and covering the whole pan. Next, I'm adding a cup of finely cut bacon. I left it too big, so the smaller you make it, the better. Once the bacon is crispy, then you can add the ground beef. Mix it well so it cooks evenly. Then add some garlic salt. Continue mixing it so it won't stick. Add a 1/4 chopped onion, chopped garlic, 2 bay leaves, and let it simmer a little. I ran out of Italian seasoning, but that's okay. I got the ingredients right there, so we'll just make our own. Simply mix equal parts of basil, thyme, onion powder, marjoram, rosemary, oregano, sage, garlic powder in no particular order and mix them well. Now that I have Italian seasoning, I can add it to the ground beef. Add 2 Roma tomatoes chopped and some bouillon. Fresh ground pepper, Worcestershire sauce. Continue to mix well. And be sure to taste. Make adjustments as needed. Now that the rice is done and the meat is done, let's allow them to cool down. Meanwhile, let's get the peppers ready. First, preheat your oven to 400 Fahrenheit and pre-grease your baking dish. I love using coconut oil in spray form. Now it's time to cut the bell peppers. I prefer to cut them in half. They're easier to de-seed and clean, and they're also easier to place in the pan. You can cut them from the top and stand them up and stuff them, but I just feel this looks better and works better. By now everything is cooled down. You can mix the rice and the ground beef or whatever you decided to use, and then add some chopped parsley. Now my favorite part, adding some cheese. Add provolone and shredded mozzarella. I didn't have any, so I just added pepper jack cheese. It doesn't matter, it's cheese, so just add it, make it look good, and then time to stuff your peppers. Remember, these are shaped funny, so make sure that you pack everything in there nice and tight so it fits all the way, and definitely don't overstuff them on the top so when you add the cheese, it's not gonna spill. Now I just added a little bit of more parsley, some pepper, and freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Yes, this is beautiful. The bag I got of bell peppers comes with 6, so that was perfect. The rice fit, the meat fit, everything fit perfectly. So now it's time to go to the oven. So just place them in the oven at 400 for either 25 to 35 minutes depending on how much you want those bell peppers cooked. And now time to plate it. We eat with our eyes, so just make sure they look pretty. You can add cream, pepper, or whatever makes you happy to make sure they look good. Now my favorite part ever. I love bell peppers, but the parboiled rice is like fluffy, so it's really good. I have these sauces that I'm gonna make videos on. For this, you'll love them, so check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video and recipe. Don't forget to check out the other ones on the channel. I think you'll really like those. And if you do enjoy these videos, please don't forget to subscribe. It really supports the channel. And we'll see you on the next one. If you like this recipe, then you'll really love this one. So click right there. That thing is making noise. Why are you still recording? We're done.